Hello everyone, my name's Stephen Murray and welcome to another episode of The Gift of Giving. For those who are tuning in for the first time, this program focuses on the foundations, non-profits, 501c3 corporations here in our great state of Nevada. And these organizations are all making our state a better place and giving services to its residents. Today's guests are no exception. This program is going to be of interest to those who live in Logandale, Mesquite, Moapa Valley, Overton, Glendale, Bunkerville, all that area. My guests are Shanna and Gary McFeeters, and they are the founders of Brooke's Good Deeds. Welcome to the program, Shanna and Gary, and thank you for coming in from Logandale today to be with us.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
So, first of all, let's ask you, Gary, what was the catalyst that made you start Brooke's Good Deeds?
Well, actually, it came through a tragedy in our lives that 10 years ago we lost our daughter, Brookie, to an impaired driver in Anchorage, Alaska. And at that time, she was 15, but at that time she had a job at a food pantry up there called Children's Lunchbox.
Wow.
And she just loved it. She'd come home and rave about it and how much she enjoyed helping the kids. And then through that, we thought, what a way to honor Brooklyn. And so in that, Shanna came up with the idea to start our own food pantry, and that way we can carry on that tradition and,
Wow.
and honor her as well as helping others in the community.
And what a tribute. What a way to tribute and remember and honor her. I'm sure Brooke's got to be looking down with absolute pride.
Well, I hope so.
I'm sure she is. And how proud you must be that you raised somebody that was so giving and got such joy out of working for this lunchbox and giving back. I mean, what a tribute and to you both as parents that you raised somebody. There's not that many kids that are doing that these days.
No.
Me in a lot of places and cases. So now your food bank, how often is it open and where do you get the food from? Is it mainly from donations? Is it money that you get and you go out and you purchase the food? How's it actually working?
So we actually partnered with Three Square. When we moved down here, we volunteered for them, and then they were able to support us. And so when we established a nonprofit, they awarded us a contract. So we're partners with them, and they provide the food twice monthly. They deliver it. Originally, they were delivering it in a box truck because it was not as many people, but now we have over 1,100 participants, and so we get a delivery in a semi. And they're very generous, and we appreciate them tremendously. And then we also do accept food donations from other individuals, if they have food that they can't use or whatever it may be, then they can also donate the food as well.
Great. Gary, you mentioned Three Squares where you get most of your food from. There may be some people out there, there's people outside of the state that tune into this program, so maybe you could give us a little bit of information about what Three Square actually is.
Well, from what I understand, they're the largest food bank in southern Nevada.
Gotcha. It's Southern Nevada.
Southern Nevada,
Okay.
yes.
Okay. So they have all these different locations where they go and drop off food, is that it?
That's
Yes,
exactly.
multiple
Perfect.
partners.
Yep.
Okay. And do you get any support from local, I know there's not many restaurants in Logandale per se, but do you get much in the way of support from any of the casinos in Mesquite or the supermarkets in the area?
Well,
Do they
actually,
help?
our local supermarket has a little donation box out front of the store, and we go by there once a month or so, and there's product in there that we pull out and we bring to our pantry as well.
Gotcha.
So it's very nice of them to do that.
Okay. And how you said you have 1,100 people, and how often is your food bank actually open?
We are open Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays weekly. From 8 to noon, and then if we do work with individuals, if they're working or if those hours don't meet their needs, then they can call or text and we meet them there Sometimes they, if they have a full-time job or they just can't get transportation, then we're pretty much available 24/7 unless we're out of town, so that
Wow.
we can make sure that everybody gets food, because that's really what we want to offer.
Sure. And what are the requirements? Do you have any requirements? Are they homeless, or do they have to low income? Do they have to give their income out? And
No,
what qualifications or
we're very
requirements?
fortunate that we just require a birth date. And then we have two different pantries. We have the over 60, which is called the Golden Groceries, and that food is prepackaged because it doesn't change. And then we have the all ages, which changes. The food changes every 2 weeks. And the individuals over 60 can shop at both pantries. The all age pantry is one where it gives people the opportunity to choose. And so it's kind of like we've set it up like a grocery store.
Oh,
So
gotcha.
a volunteer walks with them, and there's signs for each shelf per se, and then the individuals get to pick and choose what, based on their diet, their preference, things like that. And then we have a volunteer help them out to their vehicle. So it's kind of that old-fashioned
Okay.
customer service that grocery stores used to have. And so,
That's the sign of the times, the thing of the past.
Yes.
Yes. What if, I'm sure you have some people, as you said, you have an elderly program. If they can't get there, can they call? Do you have volunteers that will deliver to them, or?
Yeah, well, for us in Logandale, Shannon and I do home deliveries once a month.
My goodness.
And in Mesquite, we have 2 volunteers that do it for us there. I mean, we
Cool.
wouldn't be able to do it without the volunteers.
Well, yeah, of course.
Yes. And we have 2 routes in Mesquite, and they deliver, and then we also deliver to about 16 homeless individuals that we package different food that has flip tops and things like that that are easier for
Yes.
them to transport.
Yes.
And so we do that.
So, if they're homeless, how do you know where to meet them or find them? Do they meet at a location and you?
The Mesquite
the
Senior
location.
Center has been very
Gotcha.
generous, and
Okay.
they provide us with a list of the homebound Golden Grocery individuals, and then also the homeless. And so our drivers deliver it to the Senior Center, because the Senior Center Mesquite offers 1 meal a day to the homeless, and so that's kind of a good meeting
Yes.
point for them.
Gotcha.
The other thing that we also encourage is people can pick up for each other and shop. And so we do have that a lot. We have a lot of younger families who pick up for their parents because they know what they like or
Okay.
what they can eat and things like that. Our goal is just to meet the needs of food insecurity and get the food out there. And we want to make the process as easy as possible.
Gotcha.
So as far as qualifications, we don't ask for any information except for their birth date. And then that
Gotcha.
determines a pantry.
Okay. Now the people that call in because they'd like the food delivered to them, they give you like a shopping list and say, I can't eat this, or it has to be gluten free, or things like that.
Well, they
or
need to be.
do you just give them and they're happy to take whatever you put in the gift bag?
I believe those individuals are 60 or over.
Yes.
So they get their Golden Groceries, which are prepackaged. So it's pretty much going to be the same once a month for them. They get the produce, the bread, and the non-perishables. But if we have extra food that's in our all-age pantry, we also will load that in there as well. Like we've had milk and
eggs
turkey
and
ground
protein.
turkey or something.
Oh, yes, good healthy stuff.
Yes.
for them.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then if they don't want it, when we bring it up to their porch, it's fine. We just bring it back
Bring
to
it
the
back.
pantry.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because some
Yes,
don't
there's
have
other
a
people who can take
refrigeration
it.
space, available at the time for a
Okay.
gallon of milk, so that's okay. We'll just bring it back.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Now, you said that you're open Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So are you there every Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, or do you have volunteers coming in to help out, or would you like to get volunteers to come in and help out?
Well,
Or-
right now we man it Monday, Wednesday, from 8 to however long. I mean, if we're open and we give that option, but if no one comes in, then we close the doors, and then they can always call and we can meet them there. Fridays, we're always there. We utilize a lot of volunteers. We have, like Gary had mentioned, we couldn't do it without our volunteers. They're all, we appreciate all of them. We have the food delivery, the second and fourth Thursday, and that is that truck. And we have to offload that and then organize it in stock, just like a grocery store would. And then Friday, we utilize volunteers for the shopping, and then also to package golden grocery bags and do the sorting and the stocking and things like that. We just recently had Mesquite Ford. They came and brought 10 volunteers and
bless their
volunteered,
hearts.
yes,
That's
and
cool.
then also gave us a generous donation, which we really appreciated. And then we just recently, two partnerships. We have partnered with the softball team at the local high school, and they bring volunteers. And then the LDS missionaries have gotten approval, and they've been coming on Fridays and volunteering, which
Wonderful.
is huge.
Yes,
Because
huge.
they're younger. And
Yes.
and
they're
They have a
learning
lot
to
more
give back.
energy.
yes,
They're learning
Yes.
to give
yes.
back.
So it's a
That's
win-win.
perfect.
Yes.
We're just going to take a little break to hear from our sponsor. When we come back, Brooke's Good Deeds has ventured out. It's got more tentacles out there, and they're dabbling in all kinds of things to make Nevada brighter and better. We're going to talk about those when we come back. Please stay with us.
As a proud sponsor of the Gift of Giving, Thomas Dermatology is deeply rooted in its Las Vegas community and is always looking for ways to give back and continue to serve patients of the Las Vegas Valley. Amidst the rapidly and ever-changing landscape of healthcare delivery, both nationally and locally, our singular focus on patient care has remained constant. We have grown responsibly, enabling our team of skincare experts to provide all the benefits of a large practice while maintaining the care and relationships that comes with a small, private, local practice. For patients with cosmetic interests, Thomas Dermatology has an extensive aesthetics department featuring a team of experts who provide cosmetic injections like Botox and dermal fillers, as well as a full suite of state-of-the-art lasers and med spa services. The newest addition to the clinic is a facial plastic surgery division, allowing us to treat the aging face more comprehensively. These services are complemented by our extensive inventory of skincare products, offering patients the necessary and evidence-based ingredients to improve and maintain the health and look of their skin at home. Thomas Dermatology strives to be a part of every step in the patient's journey to healthy skin. We look forward to welcoming you and your families.
Thank you for joining us again, where our guests are Shannon McFeeters and Gary McFeeters, founders of Brooke's Good Deeds. I'd like to thank our sponsor, Thomas Dermatology, for all the help and care and professionalism they've shown me over the years. I can highly recommend them. So, coming back to Brooke's Good Deeds, you didn't just stop at the pantry. You've now branched out. There's so many things that you have going on here. It's hard to keep track of it all. I don't know where you find the time. One thing I can say is we're blessed that you moved from Alaska to Nevada, because you are making a huge difference here. So let's see some of the other services that you're now offering. You're now giving on-site mental health services on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Would you like to tell us a little bit about that?
Absolutely. So we have partnered with a local mental health counselor, and she works out of the Mesquite office. Ascend Counseling is her organization, but she is able to, we provide the space, and on Tuesdays and Wednesdays for about 12 hours, she is busy all Tuesdays and Wednesdays, providing counseling services to the local community. They can call me for the information, but she schedules the appointments, and then she is available then, and at times she also makes arrangements for other days as well.
Okay. And that's Kim Witter, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then you have grief support groups for adults, the first and third Thursdays from 6 till 7. So would you like to talk a little bit about that, Gary? Tell us a little bit about that group.
You want me to? Oh.
Yeah,
So actually, we are involved with the Compassionate Friends in Henderson. We are the chapter leaders for that grief group, and that's once a month in Henderson. Kim Witter also facilitates the grief support group
Okay.
at Brooke's Good Deeds from 6 to 7, and that is any type of grief. So it does not have to be a death, or it can be loss of a job, all kinds of grief. Just a support group. It's a peer support group to help others.
Gotcha. And how long's that been going? Is that relatively new, or?
No, that actually that's been almost a year.
Yeah.
I think.
Yes.
Yeah, we just when we started. Yep.
And how many participants do you have in that group? Probably
It
varies.
varies.
It
It does.
varies.
Yes.
It's based
Varies.
on where they're at
Yes.
in their grief journey.
Okay. And they're actually held at the center, so
No.
they're not Zoom meetings, or are they Zoom meetings?
They are available online.
Oh,
I
they
think
are
she does do
available
a
online.
Facebook,
Okay.
Facebook Live or a Zoom, in addition to holding them in person at
Gotcha.
the Brooke's Good Deeds.
And so I know it varies, it's like any group or organization, but is there like a minimum of 10? Have you had as many as 30 people, or
Not
tough-
usually.
just tough
It's
to say?
usually smaller
Small group?
groups
Mhm.
because it takes a lot when someone is facing grief to even leave their home,
Yes.
let alone go to a support group. And
Yes.
so they've had as small as 1 or 2 people, and they
That's
still
okay.
hold it. Yep. And then
If one
up to
person
10 or
shows up,
12.
Yes,
It, it doesn't matter the number as long as
absolutely,
the
as long as
person
they're
is
getting
available. Yep.
benefit. And are you finding that some of them are coming back on a regular basis? Obviously, they can't always make it, other things crop up, but you find that people are coming back regularly?
There are some that, it just depends, seasonally too. We have a lot of snowbirds, so then they don't attend during the summer months because they've run away from the heat.
And before we go further, there are people that will be tuning in that won't know what snowbirds
I'm
are
sorry,
either.
yes.
So no need to apologize. So would you just like to explain what snowbirds are?
Well,
No.
from where we live, snowbirds would be those who tend to get out of the heat instead of the snow. Our summers here are so hot, so they generally have a place in the Midwest or something that it's not so hot. So they leave for 4 or 5 months and then they come back. So they don't have to put up with the cold of the winter.
There you go.
Because our winters are pretty nice.
Yes. Well, compared to Alaska, yes, I'm
Well, we
sure
had-
they are nice.
We actually had snowbirds in Alaska too that
Yes.
would leave during
Yes.
the winter. So.
Yeah.
The grief support, it's really cool that you're doing that, because grief is it's something you learn to live with, and there's no one-size-fits-all solution.
There's not.
People grieve in their own time, in their own way, and they have to learn to live with it. Whatever they're grieving, they've got to learn to live with it. And that takes different times for different people. So it's really cool that you're providing that support group to help people get through.
Thank you.
Then you have the pre-dementia and cognitive stimulation therapy, 14-weekly session, and people have to call your organization. I'll get the information for that later. How's that working out? How many of those have you had? Because they're 14 weeks. So.
We've had 2 sessions so far. I was going to do another one this fall. We had 2 early on in the year, and then summer, because of the snowbirds, there was a lot of people that left the area, and then the holidays, it's just very hard to coordinate it. And so we're going to try again starting in January, and also offer a maintenance class, which is 28 weeks for those that have already participated in the 14-week. But the curriculum is through Dignity Health, and what it does is it has all different kinds of tools and aspects for individuals who either have been diagnosed with dementia or pre-dementia, or have just wanting to, learn more.
Learn more about it.
Yes, about, and so I have myself, and we have a board member who graciously is volunteering to co-facilitate, and so we, there's a curriculum and there's activities. We start out with some basic knowledge and questions and things like that, a little bit repetitive. There's activities, there's music, puzzles, things like that, to get people thinking. And then also we talk a lot about their history and do memory trees and things like that to
Cool.
talk about their past. So.
Cool. And then you have Reiki sessions and yoga.
We just have a little bit of everything.
Everything, but it's good because these are all valuable services. And yoga and Reiki, they're not to be sniffed at either. They're really not. They help a lot of people.
Yes, yes. And that's our goal, is to just kind of find out what resources are needed in the
Yes.
area. And Reiki really can help with grief
Yes.
and other types of trauma. And the trauma recovery yoga, we have an instructor that we just sponsored. Trauma recovery yoga was actually created by one of our TCF parents who lost her son, Joyce Bozen, and it is really a neat yoga that focuses on a little bit of Reiki and meditation and all kinds of things, and giving tools. Again, we're just about giving people support and access to tools and
Sure.
resources to help with all, with everything, with
the
life in
needs
general.
the needs of the community.
Yes,
So
yes.
stay with us. Hold that thought. We're going to take another sponsorship break. Please stay with us. When we come back, we'll be talking about quite a large event that Gary and Shanna are putting together. We'll be talking about that when we come back.
At Lucia Capital Group, we've been helping people manage risk and plan for their future through some of the most challenging market conditions. Volatility in the stock market will never go away, so it's really all about your strategy and how you react to it. Our bucket strategy aims to help you manage your financial goals even during the most uncertain times. I'm Joshua Dowden. I've been working with clients here for more than 16 years, and I can help you as well. My office is right here in the heart of Summerlin, just north of Charleston Boulevard. Don't let the stock market determine the quality of your retirement. Call me today for a free consultation. 702-508-6421. That's 702-508-6421.
Thanks for joining us again for the last segment of The Gift of Giving. I'd like to thank our sponsor that you've just heard from, Joshua Dowden from Lucia Capital Group. He has been a terrific source for me of getting my retirement funding together, and I appreciate everything he's done for me. So welcome back, Shanna and Gary. So now we see that on November the 4th at the Clark County Fairgrounds, you have organized the Community Resource Fair. So let's talk about that. Apparently it's the 5th annual Moapa Valley Community Resource Fair. Have you organized this for the last 5 years?
No.
No?
We, Larry Griffiths has done it, and up to this point, and then we lost him. He was definitely a huge asset to the community. And so I'm just trying to fill his shoes. And we were involved in the resource fair last year, but this is the first year that Brooke's Good Deeds is coordinating it.
Right,
Okay.
Larry just moved.
Oh,
We didn't lose
okay.
him. He just
sorry,
yes.
yes,
No, that's
clarification,
okay.
my bad.
I wanna let you
Talking
know.
No,
about
that's
grief.
all right.
Sorry.
He's still
He's
with
He's
still
still
very,
with us.
Yes.
Okay.
he's with us, just at a new location.
Well, he's got some nerve to move.
Yeah,
you know,
he does.
Really.
He really does.
Um,
He's missed.
So the Community Resource Fair, how many participants are there in this resource fair?
upwards of 70.
Upwards of 70.
Yes.
The participants,
The partic-
Yes.
the vendors we have about 70 vendors signed up, Participant-wise, it's held in conjunction with the Pomegranate Festival in the same location. And so we have a few hundred, usually, they attend.
A few hundred vendors?
Participants.
Participants.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Representing all these different community resources?
Well, 70 vendors representing but you said participants, which I
Sorry,
thought
I
the
meant-
community.
Sorry, I meant participants in
Oh,
terms of
the vendors.
the different organizations
Oh, sorry.
participating in the fair. I'm sorry, I probably didn't make that clear.
Okay.
So there's 70 actually vendors, and then you get how many hundreds that actually attend the event?
A few hundred.
A few hundred.
Yes, yes.
And the vendors themselves, do they come from a place like Overton and Mesquite and the different little towns and communities around Logandale?
They come from all over, actually, the state of Nevada. I
Oh, they
have
do?
some coming from Carson City. I have
Oh,
some
cool.
from Vegas, from all
Perfect.
over.
Yes.
Yes. So it's just a gathering of resources for
Okay.
anybody who someone could benefit.
Sure. And what are the cross-section of the resources? Obviously, you've got Brooke's Good Deeds and probably some of these other organizations we talked about. What are some of the others?
We have the American Red Cross is coming out, Ronald McDonald House, charities. We have Immunize Nevada. We have various state of Nevada representatives. We have Bureau of Land Management. It's not, we have some healthcare representatives. It's a wide variety.
Yes.
The goal is to just meet the needs of everybody and to
Yes.
bring it to one central location.
Yeah.
So
But
people
that's
can
no small feat, putting that whole thing together. Laying it all out, arranging for all these places and reaching out. Do they reach out to you, or do you reach out to them?
I reached out to them, and then whenever we attended an event or another fair, then I handed out flyers and kind of poached from other. I don't know how else to say it, but
That's okay.
just trying to find resources, whatever,
Yes.
wherever we could, so that we have as many as possible.
And if people are watching this and they're involved in an organization they want to be a part, this show will be aired on the last Wednesday of October. Will it be too late for them to reach out and say, can I have a booth? Or
Absolutely not.
Absolutely
We
not.
will, more the merrier. We
Okay.
welcome anyone who's willing to come out and share their information.
Okay,
We
and
just-
do you provide a table and a tent, or?
We don't provide
Oh.
that because it's being held in conjunction with the They already have all the tables and chairs, but we do have a few that people can borrow, and we
Okay.
can. But we'll designate a space, and we have participant bags available with some goodies, and then we have vendor bags with badges and things as well. We're trying something different. This year, we're going to be doing passports. We always at Brooke's Good Deeds, one of our, I don't know, I don't know what to call it, but we have raffle prizes. We believe in just having fun, and so we're going to do some very cool, I think we have 9 raffle prizes, and we're going to have individuals, participants that come in, the general public, they pick up a passport card, and they get the card
gotcha.
initialed by
Yes.
the vendors, and then they're able to turn it in for a raffle ticket,
Yes.
and then they can pick which raffle prize they're interested in.
Yeah,
So
that's
it's
cool
kind of
to
fun.
make sure that they stop at all of these different vendors
Yes,
as well. What a
yes.
cool concept.
Yeah,
So-
just trying to, so we're gonna try that out this year
Yes.
and see how it works.
And do you have somebody from the grief support group coming?
We do, we have,
Yeah.
she's going to have a table there, and then she'll be able to share information about the grief group and also about the mental health counseling available in the area.
Gotcha. Cool.
Yeah.
Did you have something to say on that, the grief aspect there?
Yeah, well, I can't emphasize enough how important it is to reach out to somebody if you are having trouble. Even Shannon and I are on a journey. It's been 10 years now since we lost Brooklyn. And without that help, and without the help of Dr. Alan Wolfelt in our own community, we wouldn't be where we're at today.
Yes.
It's so important to find somebody, and we always like to say that we want Brooks Good Deeds to be a safe place. No judgment, no nothing. Come in, tell us what's going on, and let's talk about it.
Sure.
And I was blessed, like a year ago, I think, I had a gentleman come in, and he just gravitated towards me, and he wanted to know, how do I do it? How do I do it? And I didn't understand him at first, and then it came to fruition that when I went outside to talk to him, that he had lost his son 30 years ago and never spoke his name. And I told him how important that is, that we communicate and we talk to them, and so we did, and he said his name, and I told him about Brooklyn, and now I feel like they're together now.
Yes.
So let's surround ourselves with these good thoughts. And,
Yeah.
but I was one of those tough dudes too, and I took Shannon to get me to go to a group, and I found out that I'm not crazy, I'm grieving.
Yes.
And so we want to be there for them. We want nobody to walk alone.
Very sage advice, very, very sage, and I hope anybody listening out there who's grieving will take heed of what's being said here about grief counselling and
Because it's
the
scary.
importance of getting help for grief. You guys have been absolutely amazing. You're doing amazing things. We are truly blessed to have you in our community. As I said, Brooke's got to be looking down you with pride, and you've got an angel up there in the heaven, and she's got 2 angel parents down here. It's been absolutely amazing. It's been a pleasure having you both
Thank
here.
you.
And wish you good luck with your continued programs, and especially with your community resource fair. And I'm sure it's going to be amazing. I'm going to try and make it out there this year. So having thanked my guests, I'd also like to thank John Stiles, our program producer, and WWDBTV for allowing me to host this program. I fully appreciate the opportunity. I'd like to thank our sponsors, Thomas Dermatology and Joshua Dowden at Lucia Capital Group, and my business partner for the last 25 years, RJ Champion, and you'll be hearing his sponsorship message at the end of this program. And I'd like to thank you to the viewer for tuning in and listening. Hope you found it informative and interesting. And I hope you'll join us again next week when our guest will be Julia Lazarek from Prison Families Alliance. She's going to be a great guest too. She supports people whose loved ones are incarcerated, and that's her support group. So I hope you'll join us then. If you have any comments or questions about this program, please reach out to me. It's Stephen at thegiftofgiving.vegas. Thank you again for joining us. Be safe, be kind, and have a fantastic week. Bye for now.
RJ Champion is proud to sponsor WWDB-TV's series, The Gift of Giving, and wishes the program much success. Congratulations and gratitude to the featured guests and the organizations they represent. Our community is well served by your tireless efforts to make Nevada a better state for all its residents.